I think we're live. Are we live, everybody? Yes, we are. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful November 1st, 2023. I hope everyone's having a phenomenal day, night, afternoon, midnight, wherever you are in the world. I'm certainly having a great day myself. And today, we are doing a live reaction to a Mike Johnson town hall. That is right, Speaker Johnson is doing a town hall with the notorious Sean Hannity. Yay. Now, like usual for town halls being held by like Fox, I cannot show the footage. You could still hear the audio. Don't worry, you could still hear it, but I sadly cannot show the footage because, well, I don't want to get sued. That's the main thing. So I just don't want to get sued. But before we continue with today's stream, I hope you enjoy these type of streams. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you could join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. And like usual, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever that you want for sure answered, the best way to get them answered is via the super chat, well, the chat. Again, I'll try to read through the chat, but you just want to help support the content, or you just want a question for sure answered, send a super chat. It's the best way to get your questions answered, and don't do that, dude. So, yeah. I hope everybody joins the channel, subscribe, like the stream, all that good stuff. Alright, so like usual, we have a cringe counter, and we have a Sean Hannity counter, because this is freaking Sean Hannity. We're gonna have to deal with him. Why? Like, why the hell do we have to deal with Sean Hannity? It's like, bruh, nobody likes him. He rambles on about, well, 15 years ago, I did something. I ate a pizza. It's like, nobody gives a flying crap about what this guy thinks. We're here for Mike Johnson and the other Republicans. And before I forget, we got good news. George Santos has survived. Yes! How the hell did he not get expelled? I mean, it wasn't even close. It was like a majority voted against it. It's like, even Democrats were voting against it. So, yeah. We are having a, great stream already because Sean Hannity as well. Well, I should say Sean Hannity. George Santos has survived for now. Will we be able to watch the actual thing besides audio? No. Because fair use, YouTube, I really can't. It sucks, but it's true. Also, we got some other news. Ken Buck and Kay Granger are both retiring. Thank God. I mean, those two are absolutely useless. And good thing they're getting retired or primaried out. So, yeah. Rip Bozo. Apparently, Reeves is doing a terrible job in the Mississippi governor's debate. I'm not really paying attention. George Santos has survived. Yeah, it's for now. For now. And probably like a week, they're going to do the same thing. Princess Rider for 5. Off topic, but my prediction for Tuesday are Kentucky's closer than expected, but Bashir wins. GOP takes Virginia and Pennsylvania. Or GOP takes Virginia and Pennsylvania. Hey, dude. Dude, don't. Nope. Okay, sorry about that, chat. Don't do that crap. Back to the super chat. GOP takes Virginia and Pennsylvania is closer than expected. I agree with the first and third one. The GOP takes Virginia, I don't know. Don't know about that one. General Hydra for 5. I hope the speaker's far better than the other ones. He is. Far better. Alright, sorry I had to hide the chat because some frickin' bozo was spamming stuff. Don't do that. Especially when you were spamming. That's ridiculous. yeah, people love attention. It just, why do it? There's no point. You're just going to get banned. Okay, people, let's see. Rap, why did Trump endorse Mike Rogers in Alabama? I don't freaking know. I don't know why he did. Stupid, but it is what it is. It's Trump's weakness. He does, especially every now and again. It's not as bad as past cycles, but he does endorse some real doozies. So, we're about a minute away before the Sean Hannity debate, because let's be real, Mike Johnson going to talk for like 5 seconds before Sean Hannity says, well, you see, I supported Trump back in 2010. It's like, who the hell cares what Sean Hannity thinks? We're here for Mike Johnson and whoever shows up, because apparently it's with other Republicans. Any big names of Democrats who saved Santos? Tlaib. I mean, Rashid Tlaib voted for against Santos' expulsion. And I'm not even talking about the Tlaib stuff. That's pathetic. What the hell is Thomas Massie doing? I mean, why? Why is Thomas Massie protecting Tlaib? Let's see here. Just troll rap by lying to him about breaking news. Yeah, that's a better way to do it. that's a far more optical way to do things. How old is Hannity anyways? He's like 60, I think. Okay. Hannity's apparently showing up. Okay. Yeah.
Nation's capital, right here in the swamp and the sewer of Washington, D.C. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here.
Not giving any cringe yet.
Now, today is the end of a busy day for lawmakers with a flurry of votes, including one to possibly censure anti-Semitic Congresswoman Tlaib, a measure that was killed by Democrats.
And Republicans.
We'll talk to the newly elected Speaker, Mike Johnson,
Majority
Leader Steve Scalise, many other GOP lawmakers.
Scalise showed up?
Make no mistake, with just 369 days until the 2024 election, House Republicans, and I'm saying to all of you in this room and all of you that are watching at home, you will succeed together or you will fail together. There won't be some winners and some losers. The only people that will really lose if you lose are the American people. There's too slim a majority for divisive infighting. So my message tonight to lawmakers, and we'll discuss this
Nobody cares what you think.
Is please put aside personal grudges, individual agendas. It is time.
Still going.
The American people need leadership. These are consequential times.
Shut up.
And they need all of you.
Nobody cares what you think.
To deliver big on issues that will improve this country and increase our border security. Increase our energy independence.
Back in 1576.
We got to bring fiscal sanity to this city. We need law
I can't show the
order
stream.
And safety and security for every American in every town and every city. We need to uphold the rule of law. We need moral clarity.
He always makes this about himself.
Terrorism.
House always does this
crap. They can't control what happens in the U.S. Senate, and they certainly can't force Joe Biden to sign any bill into law. But this is what they can do. They can stop Joe Biden's radical agenda if they remain united.
Time with this
they
guy.
Can investigate his corruption, and they can shine a bright light on the federal government's gross abuse of power. Again, if they stay united, they can also
force Democrats I cannot show the video.
Their true colors and a series
Let me
of
mute
very
this asshole.
important
I'm getting
votes.
sick of him. So I cannot show the video because this is on Fox News, and you have to get it's fair use and stuff. That's why.
Keep it simple. If House Republicans get lost in the weeds, if they get bogged down with petty disagreements, if their egos get in the way,
ego coming from you,
punish them. All of you in this room.
What have I
in
missed?
November
Sean
2024. Again, they will succeed or they will fail together. And by the way, the stakes are very high for every single American and, frankly, for the world at this time. Unfortunately, we don't know how bad things can get under Biden and one-party Democratic rule. It's pretty bad now. Record-breaking inflation.
We're 5 minutes into this, he's still talking.
Gas prices. Record-breaking illegal immigration, including record numbers of special interest aliens. Oh, let's see, from countries like Iran, Syria, other countries in the Middle East. Of course, China, Russia.
You haven't missed
America's
anything. It's just Sean Hannity being Sean Hannity.
They are emboldened. and much of what the world is now, looking like it's headed towards war.
Serious?
There is a better way forward. And the House has a very critical role to play, and they are the last line of defense against the most radical agenda in the history of our country.
Hannity's
and they are
Sean
a powerful
Hannity.
check on the weaponization of our government. So, what will happen the next few weeks? What does it look like for the House GOP? Here with a sneak peek, we begin tonight with the Speaker of the House. Let's give a warm welcome to your new Speaker, Mike Johnson.
Finally! Yay, Johnson! Bro, I see a Scott Perry in the back. A 10-minute promo. What is this Monday Night Raw?
I certainly know my place in the People's House because you got a much better reception than I did.
Yeah, because you suck.
If they had seen it before you began, you're a rock star here, and welcome back to the House.
Thank you for having us back and having us back so quickly. I think this is important for all the reasons I mentioned. Before we get to that, let's go to the news of the evening.
Of course it's important.
The censuring of Congresswoman Tlaib, the expulsion of George Santos.
Super chat in a second.
Those two things did not happen tonight.
They didn't. It was resolved on the floor, and we allow the members to vote their conscience on that. It's important for us to beat the Democrats on policy. There's a lot of issues that are before us right now, but there is a view here that if you go down that road and you begin to censor one another, you kind of open a Pandora's box. A lot of members of Congress say a lot of really foolish things.
A lot of talk show hosts.
There is, well, that too.
Oh,
that too. Not you.
You just interrupted him.
But listen, we have very serious business, very serious matters in front of us. I wouldn't change a word of your opening there. You're exactly right on all those agenda items. And what you see right here is a unified team. We are ready to get to work, stick together. I hope the cameras will pan this audience to see the faces of all the leaders here. They're ready to work for the American people.
Well, let me ask you, and we do have the ability to pan the audience, and please raise your hands if you want to answer. Is it possible on these issues that we're talking about, be it border security or Israel, or if we're talking about energy independence or law and order, I mean, can you all unite together?
Oh, actually,
do you all agree that you'll succeed together or fail together?
Yes. What?
Yes. All agree?
That's your question?
Now,
are you going to fail together?
With a slim majority, that is going to be a really difficult challenge.
It is, but we're building this on teamwork and trust, and that's what this group has in common here. They're ready to get to work. I tell you what, we all went home for the weekend. Well, I didn't, but some did. They got to go home for the weekend to be in their districts. And if you talk to people individually, they'll tell you there's a real sense of excitement in the base. People are believing again. They're hopeful about the future, and the people in this room we believe America's best days are ahead of us. We're going to get through these Biden years, and we're going to turn this country around, and that work begins right now. We're ready to do it.
Mr. Speaker, let me go to the FBI Director Wray yesterday, and a very dire warning about national security and threats to our homeland. Let's play that tape.
The ongoing war in the Middle East has raised the threat of an attack against Americans in the United States to a whole nother level. We assess that the actions of Hamas and its allies will serve as an inspiration, the likes of which we haven't seen since ISIS launched its so-called caliphate several years ago. In just the past few weeks, multiple foreign terrorist organizations have called for attacks against Americans and the West. Here in the United States, our most immediate concern is that violent extremists, individuals or small groups, will draw inspiration from the events in the Middle East to carry out attacks against Americans going about their daily lives.
It's Christopher Wray. They muted it.
Now, that's the FBI Director Wray. And then he was asked the question if our country is safer under President Biden. We call it in television and radio dead air.
Yeah.
He didn't answer for nearly 10 seconds. It's a long period of time. I think that was very revealing. What do you make of that answer?
What he just described there is completely foreseeable. It's related exactly to our border. I mean, it's an abject failure. The Biden administration, the most glaring example of its failures, the failures of the whole administration, what's happening at the border.
I like Johnson,
and so we've had it open for almost 3 years now. We've had millions and millions of people come in, and also known terrorists. And so it would not be surprising to us if terrorist cells are setting up shop around the country. Everyone in this room has been jumping up and down, saying everything that we can to we're blue in the face. Secure the border. That's what the the American people want. It's a top priority of ours, but it has not been for the White House.
Well, then let me play a tape, and this would be Joe Biden and
tape.
Kamala Harris and Karine Jean-Pierre and circle back Jen Psaki and Secretary Mayorkas. They have been telling us for 3 years that the border is secure and the border is closed. Now, we have an estimated 8 million illegal immigrants that I would argue Joe Biden not only didn't enforce our law, but he was aiding and abetting and allowing this all to happen. And anyway, so this is them for the last 3 years. They've been telling the American people this.
It sounds to most folks like a crisis. Well, look, it's way down now. We've now gotten control.
Precisely that. The border is closed.
Nor could I have been clearer and continued to be so, which is the border is closed.
But what's the question?
The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border.
The border.
I'll read the super chat real quick because this is freaking stupid. Princess Writer for 5. Thoughts on the Colorado judge overseeing Trump's ballot removal, donating to a PAC that attempted to oust January 6 Republicans. It's hypocritical. And the judge should recuse herself, but she won't. Or he, whatever it is.
All right. Have they been lying to us for 3 years?
They have. Everyone in the country knows that that's not true.
No,
they can see it with their own two eyes.
lying.
Thankfully, Fox has had correspondents down there on that border since all this began, and we've seen it with our own two eyes. All of us in this room have been to the border. We've seen it ourselves. The
that was the question?
that has become the border. And I told Mayorkas when he was in the House Judiciary Committee many months back, I said, I'm not sure what you've done at that department other than great harm. I mean, it's inexcusable what he's done. I believe he's committed impeachable offenses, but we only have so much time and resources to go after that.
All right, well, you're going to stay with us for the full hour. Let's invite in your leadership, and that means let's check in, by the way, we have Steve Scalise, Congressman, welcome out. Elise Stefanik, Congressman Emmer.
Cringe. Bruh.
And I want to ask all three of you in light of what
with
we've
these
been
idiots
talking
showed
about,
up?
in light of what Director Wray said, and I think it's really, really important that we go to what also was said by Secretary Mayorkas yesterday.
Jesus,
he was
keep
asked
going.
a very simple question. This question was asked by Senator Johnson of Wisconsin about how many people have come into this country illegally. Watch this tape.
Let me say, I need numbers. Again, don't filibuster me. How many people has this administration
What
let
does
into the
Ron
country?
Johnson do
let me
with
say
this?
at the outset that our job would be a lot easier if the broken immigration system was
No,
fixed.
Mr. Secretary, I want a number. How many people have you let into this country?
I should also
Okay,
comment.
I'll give you the number. It's about 6 million. About 1.7 million as known gotaways. Now, again, we don't know who these people are. We just know that they've come to this country and they're residing somewhere.
So what's the question?
Are we asking too much? You're the Secretary of Homeland Security. The director of the FBI is saying we have terrorist threats that are increasing, and they don't know how many people they've allowed into the country. Can you explain that?
Sean, this is alarming. And in fact, if you go under President Obama, Jay Johnson, when he was Homeland Security Secretary, said 1,000 people coming across was too many. We've got millions that have come across. They can't tell you how many are on the terrorist watch list. Some of the countries you talked about, places from foreign adversaries. At a time, as you see, when terror is getting on the rise. This is a major concern. That's why we passed H.R. 2, the strongest border security package. This group here came together, passed a strong border security package to fix this problem. Joe Biden doesn't want to talk about it, but look, this isn't a Republican or Democrat issue. Democrat mayors around the country recognize this is a major problem. They're calling on President Biden to fix this as well. I think the country has come a long way to recognizing this is one of the top issues, major threat to our national security. Joe Biden's the only one MIA on this.
Congresswoman, let me give you the numbers that I think should startle everybody. I'd like to know why we have 659 Iranians at our southern border. I'd like to know why we have 538 Syrians. I'd like to know why we have tens of thousands of people from China
illegal immigrants
and Russia.
Just ask the question.
Also from the Middle East, thousands of what we call special interest illegal immigrants wanting to get in. And could you possibly explain the policy that allows Chinese nationals to buy up thousands and thousands of acres of farmland, ranch land, and land near military installations?
Well, first of all, it's because of Joe Biden's failed border policies. And every district, every state, every community has become a border district. I represent a district in New York, and we see, as the majority leader just said, cities like New York City, Democrat elected officials who are speaking out against Joe Biden's failed border policies. And it's not only a national security crisis.
But it took them a long time. They were first.
They
very
were. They were very welcoming, and
Stefanik.
now the shoe is on the other foot because they see the impact, and that's why Republicans are on offense in places that were traditionally blue. But you also asked about not only the national security crisis, but I believe it's a humanitarian crisis as well. The 87,000 minors, those under the age of 18 that have been lost due to human trafficking under Joe Biden's failed policies. We as Republicans will stand up for border security, and I believe that will be one of the winning issues moving into 2024 under Speaker Johnson's leadership and under this united conference.
Let me ask you, Congressman Emmers, I think this is really, really important. I want to play an exchange.
Oh, my
God! This was
not
against Secretary Mayorkas with Josh Hawley of Missouri.
Ooh, Hawley.
And get your reaction to this exchange.
This is a paraglider, a Hamas paraglider, depicted here with a machine gun flying into Israel. She posted it under her online alias with the celebratory Free Palestine. Mr. Secretary, what's going on here? Is this typical of people who work at DHS? This is an asylum and immigration officer who is posting these frankly
This is Sean Hannity show.
pro-genocidal
Yeah, this is just Sean Hannity being a dumbass.
and images on the day that Israelis are being slaughtered in their beds. What have you done about this?
4 things I'd like to say to you. Number one, your question to suggest that that is emblematic of the men and women of the Department of Homeland Security is despicable.
I'm sorry. What have you done? This person works for the Department of Homeland Security. Have you fired her?
That was 1 of 4 answers.
Have you fired her?
1.
Have you fired her? Don't come to this hearing room when Israel has been invaded and Jewish students are barricaded in libraries in this country and cannot be escorted out because they are threatened for their lives. You have employees who are celebrating genocide, and you are saying it's despicable for me to ask the question?
Okay, what's the question?
Celebrating genocide, and the person's not fired. And I guess this goes to the theme of the night.
Hannity, just ask the
every Republican in the
question.
House, you have power here. You have the power of the purse. You also would have the power to impeach Secretary Mayorkas. What do you think the best way forward would be for the Republican conference?
Well, first off, I think this team had a lot of success in the first 10 months. We now have a new speaker, a great leader, the right man at the right time that this whole group has unified behind. We can do some big things yet, Sean. And on this issue, it's about holding the Biden administration accountable. It's about the ongoing investigations that Jamie Comer and Jim Jordan and their committees are doing. It's about the weaponization of government against your political opponents. Republicans are doing all that investigation at the same time. You hit on the biggest thing that our speaker is interested in taking back, which is the power of the purse. The House hasn't had it for years. We start doing the appropriations process that he has set us down the road on, and we finish it. Guess what? We can take back that power of the purse, and we can start to hold this renegade, out-of-control executive branch accountable.
Mr. Speaker, how do you force a president that is picking and choosing what laws he will enforce and laws he will not enforce? The laws on immigration in this country are clear. They are unambiguous. We have a constitutional process. We have 3 branches of government. He does not get to dictate this, but he's been allowed to. He has enabled, aided and abetted 8 million people to enter our country illegally. You know, we have watched now, you know, people, people from hostile regimes, our geopolitical foes, walking into this country, no vetting allowed. I mean, is this not a clear and present danger to America?
Of course it is. And as we go forward,
and what can we do?
Well, with our appropriations bills for Ukraine funding, for example, we're going to marry that with border security. Those 2 things are going to be handled together because we believe it's a top priority. We can't be expected to take care of other countries and other conflicts if we can't seal our own border. But the other responsibility we have is the power of the purse, but also accountability. And that's why our investigations go forward. We're holding these federal agencies accountable. They have been weaponized. They're being used against the very people they're designed to protect and serve. And we have to seek and push and force accountability in that way. And our committees have been very, very busy at that. All the committees of jurisdiction, and they'll continue that.
I want to get a reaction from everybody in the room on the cognitive state of Joe Biden. The first tape I'm going to play.
Bro.
The first tape I'm going to play was put together by the RNC. The second tape was Joe Biden recently flying back from Israel, and he had a gaggle on Air Force One. I'll play them back to back, and then I'll have a question on the other side. Let's roll the tape.
He's just still going.
But the nature.
Oh, I gotta mute this.
Not.
It has freaking copyrighted stuff. I gotta mute it for a second. What the hell is Sean Hannity doing? Back in 1576, Joe Biden did something. Like, these questions, they're not even questions. They're just like, so the Constitution says the President of the United States. I'm getting sick of this guy. All right. I'll wait. Don't worry. It's just clips of Biden being Biden. So you're not missing anything. Oh, boy. Joe Biden has dementia. No way. Yeah. Is this a shocker that he has dementia? Wow. That's like the most boomer-con take possible. Everybody knows that there's something wrong with him. Let's see here. Hannity loves hearing himself too much. Yeah, I mean, he just keeps speaking about how, you see, I believe that nobody gives a flying fuck what Sean Hannity has to think about something. We're here for Mike Johnson. MAGA Mike. We're here for him. Let's see here. Back in 1792, Joe Biden supported the Democratic Republicans. Yeah, I mean, that's what Sean Hannity's probably going to ask next. So, nobody cares. The clips is still going. It's like okay, there we go, finally.
Ask you for, is Joe Biden cognitively, mentally strong enough to be our president, Mr. Speaker?
I think every American feels the same way we do. You heard gasps in the room. It's painful for us to watch. I think it's very dangerous. I think everybody can draw their own conclusion from that. This is a dangerous time on the world stage. We have to project strength. And projecting weakness invites the wolves. And so we know that, and that's why it's so difficult for us to watch that.
Congressman Emers.
I'm going to try to be kind, Sean, but like every professional athlete, and we have some that are in the room, sometimes they stick around.
Burgess Owens, he's a pretty good player.
Burgess Owens, there's one of them.
He really wasn't. Hannity keeps interrupting.
Sometimes, Sean, they stick around a little too long. They stick around after they've lost a little speed, lost a little.
Oh my!
A little too long.
A little. You're very. Yeah, that was gracious.
Yeah.
Hannity, I'm about
Congresswoman.
Joe Biden is unfit to be president of the United States,
and
I think whether you're
already.
Republican, Democrat, or Independent, the American people understand that.
Does it not put emphasis on why all of you uniting in leadership is even more important?
Absolutely.
It does.
Sean, Xi's watching this. The Ayatollah's watching this in Iran. Putin's watching this. Is it any surprise they're all moving against our allies right now? They see this weakness.
These are scary times. We're going to talk about Iran. We're going to talk about the Middle East. We've got a lot more to get to. By the way, thank all of you. Just last exit question. Is there anybody in the room, raise your hand high, if you think Joe Biden is cognitively strong enough to be our president? Is there anybody?
Wrong room.
Bro.
Okay, just checking. When we come back, House Republicans are moving forward with critical investigations into Joe Biden, along with other.
Oh my sweet lord. So, that's the first part of the town hall. Only got 45 more minutes or 35 more minutes. I mean, the answers are fine, but it's like Sean Hannity. What the hell was that? It's like these questions, it's like it's a 5-second question. It's just he turns it into a 15-minute long speech about so crooked Joe Biden has dementia. In your honest opinion, back in 1926, was Joe Biden mentally prepared? Who the hell cares? Ugh. This whole interview has sucked because of Sean Hannity. Just get Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters would ask A, competent questions, B, not give these 5-hour-long speeches about in 1795, the United States Constitution was 1789, excuse me. The Constitution was created. And Joe Biden has not followed Article 13 of the Constitution. It's like, nobody cares. Just ask the question. Nobody wants to hear you yap about 1572 or whatever. Rap, say what you want about CNN, but at least they don't take 10 freaking hours to ask one question. Yeah. Every other channel, it's like they actually ask questions, even if it's cringe. Here it's just, well, Sean Hannity must give him a long speech about God knows what. Waters is basically Tucker Light. Not good enough to prop up Fox, but actually entertaining and informative. Yeah. Waters is actually good. He would have done a great job at this. Unfreaking believable. We're not even halfway through this complete shitfest. Nobody cares about what Hannity has to think. And this isn't even a real town hall. It's just a sit-down. Hannity wants business as usual. He's a rhino. That's why he's pissy about McCarthy being thrown out. Well, it's not only that, but just he's cringe. Nobody cares about, well, in my humble opinion. No, that's not your job. Hey, Rap, what do you think about the Mississippi governor race? I'll talk about it next Monday. Okay. Boomers love Sean Hannity for some reason. I don't know why. Was the Trump CNN town hall the best one ever? That was easily one of his best town halls. That was freaking hilarious. Can you imagine a town hall with Sean Hannity and Chris Christie? Just imagine that for a second. Imagine if Sean Hannity had to interview Chris Christie for a town hall. I think everyone would just die of cringe. Like, nobody would be alive at that point. Just everybody just dies of cringe immediately. Trump loves Hannity for some reason. Well, Hannity's so dumb. It's like, why? What's worse, the South Dakota GOP or Pennsylvania GOP? Pennsylvania, or South Dakota. Pennsylvania at least has some good congressmen. Sean Hannity / Chris Christie town hall will be the best one ever. No. It better not happen. Hannity and Christie would get through one question. Yeah, it's like a 3-hour rally or town hall. Okay, they're back. The assholes are back.
Now are heating up. Earlier today, Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, he broke major news, now claiming that
this is big, by the way. They
laundered money tied to a personal check from his brother Jim. Meanwhile, the House Judiciary Committee, they are launching a probe into the intel community's role in suppressing Biden corruption allegations in 2020, saying that America's intel community may have misled congressional investigators at the time by pretending that these corruption allegations were Russian disinformation. And of course, on Monday, Jim Jordan, James Comer, they launched a probe into the D.C. Attorney General's investigation of conservative judicial activist Leonard Leo, expressing their concern over, quote, potential infringement on free association and donor privacy. All right, joining us now, along with Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, is House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith. Good to see you guys. Let me start. You had huge news today, and you actually went out with, I don't know if it was on video. I played it on audio and radio.
Yeah, look, we found another check to Joe Biden. That's what the media said that they felt like this investigation needed to do to be successful. Find a direct link between Joe Biden and his family's influence peddling. We've already proven that he met with all the people that sent his family money. We've proven that Joe Biden's lied countless times to the American people about his knowledge and involvement of his family's shady business dealings. We've proven the family had over 20 shell companies. We've proven they've had all these bank accounts. Now we have enough bank accounts in, Sean, where we can actually trace the money back to the source. So we found the check to Joe Biden. This is the second check in a week. The first one was for $200,000. This one was for $40,000. But what's most alarming about this $40,000 check, it traces directly back to China. It goes all the way back to that WhatsApp message that the Ways and Means Committee.
The WhatsApp message is Hunter saying, I'm
sitting
here next to my father, and we want to know why you didn't follow through on your commitment, and then threatening, well, between everybody he knows and my ability to hold a grudge, that there's going to be a shakedown.
That one. 5 days later, they wired $5 million.
$5 million. So, but you found $40,000 of that $5 million went to Joe directly?
Yeah. From the $5 million, then Hunter got a fee of $400,000.
A fee.
And then it was laundered through 3 different Biden bank accounts to Joe Biden. Now, $40,000 is 10% of $400,000. This is the CEFC deal.
Whoa. 10% for the big guy?
Oh, yeah. Comer's getting pissed
10%.
now. I saw that. He was like, shut the
10%
fuck
of $400,000.
Speaker Johnson's going to be upset. He's not going to be called the big guy. I guess it's going to be Joe Biden. You thought you got this new position, right?
Not the title I wanted. No.
But, you know, it's very concerning because the president told everyone in that debate that his family never took any money from China. They've taken millions from China, and now we have evidence that Joe Biden himself benefited.
And this is in energy. And Hunter Biden did that interview with Good Morning America, and he said he had no experience in energy, oil, gas, Ukraine, and certainly he didn't have any in China
was going on something
either.
important. This asshole
$5 million in this particular wiring, and then we got the Burisma money. Again, no experience, at a time where he admittedly was addicted to drugs. But here's what we know. Didn't Joe Biden as a candidate and a president repeatedly say he never once talked to his son, brother, or anybody for that matter?
Get somebody different, please.
Now don't we know that he was on phone calls with these business
partners? Back in
partners?
1752.
I've never been to the Cafe Milano. Wasn't he now? Don't we have dates and times and places meeting with the likes of Russian oligarchs and these shell corporations and 9 Biden family members being paid?
That's right. Phone calls, dinners, private meetings, trips on Air Force Two. Now we have evidence that he was involved in the money laundering. I mean, this family, the crimes that they've committed.
Is it just
shut
money
up,
laundering,
Hannity,
or what do you call it when you get paid for something?
Well, if
like that.
Well, it looks
Shout
like.
it out if you know the answer.
Right. Yeah. That's right. And you know, the fact that they're trying to say everything's a loan, the $250,000 wire we found 3 weeks ago that was from China to Hunter Biden that listed Joe Biden's house as the beneficiary address, they said that was a loan. They said these last 2 checks to Joe's
this is
a loan.
freaking
You're going to
massive.
continue to hear the White House say loan, loan, loan as we continue to unveil more money that's been
Just
floating
alone,
around in the Biden sphere. Loans are a way to not pay taxes.
Reasons for
tax
impeachment,
evasion.
aren't they bribery, high crimes, and misdemeanors?
Yes.
I'll ask the 3 of you, Chairman and Speaker. Are we looking at potential Joe Biden was involved in bribery?
I mean, they cannot explain what they did to get the money.
Jim Jordan, let's talk about the latest developments in your committee.
Well, on one hand, you got the Department of Justice that said parents were terrorists, pro-life Catholics were extremists, and last week we learned they were spying on Capitol Hill staffers here, working on investigating them when they were doing the whole Crossfire Hurricane thing, not to mention the other things you brought up. So, and then on the other hand, you got the same Justice Department that slow walks the Hunter Biden investigation.
Oh, he finally shut up. Thank God.
Where David Weiss tells us different stories all the time. The White House can't get their story straight. And then really, I think that the example that tells it best is Burisma. because Joe Biden did all these things that Jamie's focused on
would be
the
in
bank
jail
records, the suspicious activity reports. Jason and his committee are looking at the whistleblowers who came forward, who, by the way, their story has not wavered. Their testimony has been tested, has been cross-examined, and it has stood up under all that. And then we're looking at the way the Justice Department handled the investigation into Hunter Biden. But Burisma is the best example. Hunter Biden gets put on the board of Burisma, fact number one. Fact number two, he's not qualified to be on the board of Burisma. Fact number three, the head of Burisma ask Hunter Biden, can you help us relieve the pressure we are under from the Ukrainian prosecutor? Fact number four, Joe Biden does just that after Hunter Biden asked him to. He goes to Ukraine and gets the prosecutor fired. That is, I think, the most compact and compelling way you can tell this story, in addition to all the stuff that the whistleblowers have brought forward on the investigation and Jamie's uncovered in his committee.
So he leveraged $1 billion taxpayer dollars. This is, what, 4 or 5 days after Joe Biden got on a call with Hunter and Burisma executives. They had a problem at the time. The problem was the prosecutor investigating them, Victor Shokin. And then, lo and behold,
well, as you know, Speaker Johnson back in 1893,
as a consequence, Joe gets the guy fired with our money, and then Hunter continues to get paid.
Leverages our American tax dollars to get it done. They're in Dubai. Devin Archer, who we deposed, tells us they're in Dubai. The head of Burisma asked him, can you weigh in? Can you help us? Hunter immediately calls his dad. 5 days later, his dad, Joe Biden, then vice president, leverages American tax dollars to get the prosecutor fired.
Unfreaking believable.
That all happened, and we have that from the deposition with Hunter Biden's business partner, Devin Archer.
Let's go to the Ways and Means Committee, because you're following a lot of the financial aspects around this. What is the latest?
Of course, just last month, we released over 700 additional pages that came from our 2 IRS whistleblowers.
Are there more whistleblowers?
It's the 2 that we're working on right now, but they continue to give us more information and confirm their testimony. As the liberal media attacks them, they want to defend themselves, and they've been providing the information. What we have learned is that Joe Biden was not just the brand that they were using to sell all over the country, all over the world, but in fact, he was benefiting from selling it. One example is for
this ever happened
the IRS whistleblowers claim
has
that they
like
were going
to
investigate Joe Biden's campaign for a loan that Kevin Morris had done to pay more than $2 million worth of taxes of Hunter Biden's.
Like this?
And this happened at the beginning of the 2020 campaign, which would have been a huge message in that campaign. But what did they do? The Justice Department, they wouldn't allow it. They said they had no interest in investigating the Biden campaign.
Let me ask an exit question of all of you, and then I'll ask the entire room. But before I get to that, Congresswoman Nancy Mace, on your committee, you told me, Congresswoman, she thinks the Biden family, when all is said and done, they will have received, the 9 family members, the shell corporations, the funneling, et cetera, the money laundering involved in it, surrounding it, in excess north of 50 million, maybe more. Do you believe that? That family got that much money?
They're on track.
The grandkids?
They're on track to exceed that number.
And what did the grandkids do for the money? Were they experts in oil?
No.
50 million.
They weren't experts in anything. And to this day, they've never said what they did to receive the money. Now we have Jim Biden's bank records, and he was just as bad as Hunter. The only reason we don't know anything about Jim, he didn't leave a laptop lying around.
So the question is, this is well, not a lot of people do, actually. But are we really, this is an impeachment inquiry, Mr. Speaker. Is this leading to impeachment? Do you believe that the evidence that they're accumulating in these 3 committees is now leading to the ultimate impeachment in the House of Representatives of Joe Biden?
Next to the declaration of war, impeachment is probably the most serious power that Congress has. We do not wield it for political purposes, but we are following the truth where it leads. And you hear the evidence, you hear this laid out and summarized. Of course, you know there's much more than what we're able to do in one segment. We're going to follow the truth where it leads because we have a constitutional responsibility to do so. We're on it, and we're going to continue.
Let me scan the room. How many of you think that that's where this is headed? Please raise your hand.
Everybody.
Wow. The whole room. Thank you all. I appreciate you being with us.
Oh, my sweet Lord. That segment was better, but what the hell was James? I'm not a big fan of James Comey. He's fine, but That's some big stuff he's talking about. Like, hey, we have a direct check of $40,000 going right to Biden. I mean, that's a big thing. And Sean Hannity's talking about, well, what happened back in 2015 with the Ukrainian oil? Just talk about that, the check. That's not even a question. It's like, that's a check of $40,000 they directly tied to Hunter Biden and Chinese businessmen. Sam Adson for 5. Gates outing Smith as gay was hilarious. Yeah, is that what he outed him as? I wouldn't be shocked, but I mean, Homer, that's some big stuff that, hey, we don't just have allegations of it. There's a $40,000 check right here that we found out went from like 13 business accounts or bank accounts. It's unbelievable. Did he see a Liberal election? Twitter says Arizona 8th will be competitive. Did they? I wouldn't be shocked. Hanny be like, did you know in the year 1932, Joe Biden actually endorsed Herbert Hoover? He said Herbert Hoover was the best candidate to save democracy and to stop evil MAGA FDR from running. Walls are closing in. That's Sean Hannity. It's random junk about 15 years ago. Something like not even related to it. Republicans led push to expel Santos fails. Yeah, it did. Watergate and Teapot Dome ain't got shit compared to this. Yeah, I mean, at least with those, and I know those, Watergate I have my own opinions about, but like, the Teapot Dome, at least that was with American businessmen that I'm aware of. I could be wrong, but at least that was American companies and, like, corruption within America. This is corruption with the CCP. You know, one of our biggest adversaries. And we're not talking about, like, $10,000. We're talking about $50 million. And, like, a laundering scheme, it's like, holy crap. Arizona 8th itself will not be competitive. The primaries will, but not the general. Libs and elected boroughs will probably have to have it go Democrat if Masters wins. Yeah. Hey, Rap, are you nervous about the elections Tuesday? I just need a victory here. I can be. I'm a bit nervous on some parts, but we just got to see. Billions and billions. We need Ed Durr. Real. We need Trump. So yeah, I'm both confident and hesitant about next week for some reason. I think we're gonna do a lot better in, like, for some reason, I think we're gonna do a lot better in, like, Ohio and Virginia. But crap the bed in Mississippi. I have this weird feeling. It's like it could be the complete opposite of what we think's gonna happen. It's look good for the big guy. It doesn't. I mean, this is a serious thing. We're not talking about, like, well, Trump allegedly, you know, had a phone call with Zelensky and stuff. It's like, no, we have like $50 million just being exchanged right here. How long is this on for? Meaning Hannity was with Speaker for like 15 more minutes, I think. 15 years ago, I had a dream Biden was going to be the president. And in my dream, I said, we need a speaker to fix this. And I think Speaker Johnson was that man in my dream. Sean Hannity. Rap, when is the earliest to start getting ready for Christmas? Like, I would say, like, sometime in December, but the absolute earliest is, like, right after Thanksgiving. Or Black Friday. Ben Cynics for 2. Imagine if Cameron and Presley both win. I would laugh my ass off if that did happen. Ooh, they're back.
Ever. Look at this data released by the CBP showing thousands of special interest aliens. They have been arrested at the border just since October of 2021. 3,153 illegal immigrants from Egypt, 659 from Iran, 538 from Syria, and we have, what, a ton from China and a ton from Russia.
We get the point.
We continue with Speaker Mike Johnson, along with Texas Congressman Chip Roy, Florida Congresswoman Kat Kamika with us.
No,
Good to
not
see you all.
Kamik.
Thank you for being here.
The chair's breaking,
I wish we could put all of you on. You all deserve to be on.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
If you all unite together, there's so much that can get done. I want to talk about. I never thought in my lifetime I would see this level of virulent hatred, anti-Semitism that we're seeing. We're seeing it in the halls of Congress. We're seeing it at Ivy League universities. We're seeing it in a packed house in Times Square in New York.
But yeah, this is just
Biden has let the door wide open. This is your state, Chip. By the way, Kamala Harris today says the POTUS and I are announcing the first national strategy to combat Islamophobia. I thought we were in the middle of an epidemic of anti-Semitism.
That's so stupid. It's unbelievable.
Strange. My question is, what are we to do here? Ukraine has already gotten $76.8 billion. Joe wants another $61 billion. Israel, he's offering only $14 billion. The border, he's only offering $14 billion. And he wants to give $100 million to
ask the question.
The people of Gaza. And I would argue they're not going to get a dime because previous humanitarian aid has been building out these terror tunnels and buying rockets to fire into Israel. So are those the right numbers?
Bro,
how will
why does he
Republicans
have a
counter
piece of
Joe's
paper?
proposal?
He just has
Well, Sean, look, we're all here united, standing shoulder to shoulder with Israel. We're ready to send over a sole legislation that would focus on Israel that is paid for. Unfortunately, I think our Democrat colleagues are more interested in siding with the IRS and expanding it to go after the American people than they are to side with Israel.
Now, this is important. What you want to do is take it away from delay the money that would hire 87,000 IRS agents to harass me further.
Right.
And harass other Americans.
Yeah, but meanwhile, this is also the result of an appeasement strategy under this Biden administration, where we are allowing Iran to enrich itself, selling oil to China because we don't put the sanctions in place. We've been continued to fund through the United Nations and UNRWA and through the Human Rights Council. We've been funding all manners of sins through the perpetuation of hate with the Palestinians. We've been funding the universities that are teaching our young that it's perfectly fine and acceptable to perpetuate hate.
Should we stop funding universities that allow that to go on?
I mean, no question. Why are we funding these universities with massive endowments to continue to perpetuate hate? We should defund that.
Oh, yeah, like we've been saying for like 5 years now.
Congresswoman, what are we to do? In the last 2 weeks, there's been 27 attacks against American soldiers in Iraq and Syria. Joe Biden had 2 little pinprick responses, 2 empty warehouses.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're at 69.
And they're firing at our soldiers.
Yeah.
What should our response be?
Well, think about this, Sean. Just tonight, over 50 Democrats voted to enrich the uranium program with Iran. They said that they were okay with the nuclear Iran.
What?
A resolution on the House floor. 50 Democrats said that they were okay with a nuclear Iran. So that tells you everything you need to know about the Democratic Party today. We have gotten so far away from the basics, and that's what we need to be focusing on. Our national defense, rebuilding our military, having our readiness. But when you have a commander-in-chief who is more like a trafficker-in-chief, a guy who wants an open border, crime in the streets, spend us into oblivion, we have no capability to actually be prepared for the war or the conflicts that are coming. And certainly where we have had money, taxpayer money going, we have not got a strategy. There's no accountability. And for the American people, they're infuriated, and rightfully so. They deserve a plan. They deserve accountability, transparency, and we need to have the backs of our men and women in uniform every day, all day.
The head of the
exception.
snake, I mean, look at the challenges Israel's facing. They got Hamas, Gaza in the south. They got Hezbollah, Lebanon in the north.
What's the question?
Now the Houthis have declared.
We lose him.
Same. You got Putin meeting with Hamas leaders. How do we cut off the head of the snake? Doesn't this all go back to Iran? And what should America do?
Well, I'm getting the exit music in my ear, but here's what we need to do. Stand with Israel. The first act that we had in my speakership was the resolution where we formally stood with Israel, and now we're pushing.
I'm muting it so I'm copyrighted. It's just nothing but, yeah, we gotta support Israel. You're not missing anything. That was a quick one. Okay, what was the point of that? Alright, we're back. Okay, we'll be back shortly, I think. Right? Okay, bruh, that was quick. We don't care about the let's see here. Putin met with Hamas leaders. I didn't hear about that. Did they? Did he meet with Hamas? Must stand with Israel. Well, again, I support Israel, but yeah, we shouldn't be bankrupting ourselves. We shouldn't. If we have problems here, we should focus on those first. Putin is pro-Hamas. Well, really? I actually have not heard anything about that. Qatar met with Gaza leaders. Really? Putin forgot Chechnya. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, wait, you had something like that in your country like 20 years ago. I don't know. Don't know. When does it start or did it end? They're doing one more segment, then they're going to end this godforsaken thing. Is Johnson doing good? Yeah, but Sean Hannity doesn't know how to shut up. James Comer's out here with a bombshell. That's the smoking gun. And he's talking about, well, back in 1972. It's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares what Sean Hannity has to think. Back in 1756. Yeah, Johnson's doing okay, I say. Far better than, like, McCarthy. So what I just got here, what did I miss, Lowell? How bad or good did Johnson do? Johnson's doing a really good job so far. But Sean Hannity just doesn't shut up. He doesn't. Rap, what did I miss? I just got here. Sean Hannity being Sean Hannity. America should not be the world's police anymore. We have far too many problems. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying, like, we have to be isolationists and, like, you can't do anything, but it's like, I'm just saying we should not be funding all these other countries when we got problems. I don't even know what Johnson said, to be honest. He said some stuff about, we're a united conference, we gotta, like, investigate Biden. But he doesn't have time to answer. Because Sean Hannity is going on about, well, Joe Biden's corrupt. No, really? What a shocking turn of events that Joe Biden's corrupt. Rap, George Santos survived. You can make a video on this. Possibly. Possibly. Just gotta see what happens. Okay. Back in 1756. I mean, that's Sean Hannity for you. What do you think of Ken Buck and Kay Granger both announcing their retirements? Rip Bozo. Pack watch. Tate Reeves is hiding in the background. He dyed his hair white and he is wearing a... What? Breaking. Representative Bose will retire at the end of 2024. Whoa, what? Oh, it's a fake account. All right, I had to say for a second. It's fake. Fake news. Okay, we're back. Oh, Lawler.
You that well, and I think y'all made a really good choice.
Lawler looks like crack right now.
The trick here is for you to be successful, and this is where we began the hour, is you have to stay united. I was a little worried about you for a minute.
Mute. Fox, what are you doing?
You know, Newt Gingrich always talks about the 90-10,
Oh,
80-20, 70-30 issues. If you focus on the things we've discussed, can't you get all of that accomplished and everybody unite behind that agenda?
No question. Look, I won a district that Joe Biden won by 10 points. That has 70,000 more Democrats. That's home to Bill and Hillary Clinton. All right. And the reason I was able to win, the reason I was able to win was because I talked about the issues that cut across party line: affordability, public safety, the crisis at our southern border. Folks in my district are very concerned about Eric Adams shipping migrants up into my community. Why? Because New York City has had the most disastrous policies, sanctuary cities, a refusal to cooperate with ICE and law enforcement, the right to shelter, spending millions in taxpayer money on free housing, health care, education for illegal immigrants. People can't afford to live in New York. You know as well as I do. Our neighbors are leaving.
I am getting the hell out of there.
That's the sad truth of what's happening in New York. So there's a reason I've been able to win on these issues.
That's right.
A lot of my constituents have moved to his district. But we can win on the issues that cut across party line: energy, immigration. These are the things the American people care about.
You know, Byron, I think if you focus just on the bread and butter, those issues, and then hold votes on important issues and hold these Democrats accountable, that's a winning formula.
You're absolutely right. Look, in my district, Southwest Florida, very conservative area, what do they want to do? Follow the Constitution. Cut spending, get our debt under control, secure the southern border, be strong across the globe. That doesn't mean fight everybody's fight across the globe. It means be strong across the globe so our allies are safe, knowing that they can be friends with us and that we will have their back. We'll stand behind them. That's what my voters want. Listen, I was with the speaker at the Republican Jewish Coalition Convention in Las Vegas. They're coming up to me saying, Byron, I like this guy. Where'd you find this guy? He's awesome. It's Mike Johnson. He's great. It's like we were at the MGM and you hit the jackpot. They love him.
MAGA Mike.
When I went home, voters said the same thing to me. You have a great speaker.
Had a great fundraising week. I noticed that.
We did. By God's grace. Look, we are working for
Sean
liberty,
Hannity,
opportunity, and security for the American people. They want to hear the hopeful message, and we're providing that. We stand for what's great about America, and we're optimistic about the future.
Can you, on these 90-10, 80-20, 70-30 issues, can you look in the camera and assure every conservative and Republican in the country that main agenda can get done and will get done?
That is going to be our agenda, and we're going to deliver for the people and govern well. And I think that we'll be able to grow our majority when we do that.
From our nation's capital, more Hannity, straight ahead.
No more Hannity. We got one more segment. That was kind of pointless. You brought up Byron Donalds and Lawler? That's who you bring up? I like Donalds, but... Hey, Rap, off topic, do you know much about Quebec? I know that you are a native of Wisconsin, but do you know much about our neighbors to the north? Not really. I know some stuff about Canada, but not enough. Santos has a better policy record than, like, 99% of elected Republicans. Yeah. It's like, he's the... Like somebody said in chat, he's the Democrat moderate, a.k.a. a partisan hack. Bobby Knight died. I saw that. F's in chat for Bobby Knight. Wow, we need to cut spending. What a shocker. Whoops. Lawler only survived his re-election due to Mondale Jones being the Democrat frontrunner. Yeah, that's. I mean, you got Mondale Jones like that. You're not gonna lose. I don't think. Breaking Biden executive order to deploy 20,000 climate activists. I saw something like that. What's that about? Can somebody explain the climate activist thing? where Biden's deploying 20,000 of them. For what? Really want to know. Sanders might very well win re-election. He's not winning re-election. I'm just being real. He's gonna get crushed. Rap, who will win in 2024? Girardi, Bacon, or Chavez DeRaymer? I feel like all three will lose. I think Bacon holds on. Breaking. Hunter Biden is corrupt. Real. You're telling me Hunter Biden's corrupt? What a surprise. It's like they're all corrupt. They're all scumbags that sold out America for God knows what. Let's see here. Well, the 20,000 climate activists are eligible to receive free housing, transportation, meals, and even uniforms. You're paying for all of it. Really? Free housing for being an activist? Sign me up! Hey, free stuff? And I gotta pretend to be a climate activist? Sweet. I probably get paid for it? Alright. Do absolutely nothing? Sounds like a good gig. Watch Santos win re-election and vote the same way as he does now. I would laugh. It would be a big F you to certain people, too. Thoughts on Laura Loomer? Completely insane. Rap, nice headline from New York Post. A naked man seen fighting Las Vegas cop before driving off a patrol vehicle and crashing. What? That happened? No, Rap, it's not free housing. They are actually gifting them property, not just paying for it. So you get a free house? Sign me up! Hey, a free house, I could sell it immediately? What are they gonna do? Rap, should Mark Ronchetti of New Mexico take the John James route and run for a House seat? I mean, I'm not a big fan of him, but sure. Town Hall's done.
.com to register, set your DVR so you never, ever, ever miss an episode. In the meantime, let not your heart be troubled. Greg Gutfeld will put a smile on your face. Thank you all.
Okay, yay! The shit fest ended. Woo! Yay! Finally! we don't have no more Sean Hannity. Yay! Alright. Sam Matz for 2. Breaking. Chris Christie is fat. Real. That was it. That was pathetic. All of that for like 2 questions? Rate Hannity's performance. We're not going to grade Johnson. We're going to grade Hannity. D-, F+, F, F-. Grade him. F-. What's your opinion on the Gutfeld guy in Fox? He's pretty chill. Everybody's saying F-. We're rating Hannity's performance, not Johnson's. Not much of a town hall. Yeah, that was a town hall? Hannity was an A. No. Please. God, no. Breaking news about Christie. What? What about Christie? Did he break a chair again? What happened with Christie? I gotta see this. Did something actually happen? Or is that fake? Breaking Christie's chair. Let's see here. I missed most of the segment, so I don't know. All you need to know is Sean Hannity talked a lot. That's all you need to know. Let's see here. What's Christie? Ooh, we got breaking news. Oh, boy. Oh. We got breaking news, everybody. I'm not even kidding when I say this. According to FBI Director Chris Wray, Iran has made assassination attempts against high-ranking current and former U.S. government officials, including right here on American soil. Whoa, okay. Whoa. So it sounds like Iran has made assassination attempts, according to FBI Director Chris Wray. Holy schmoly. Yeah, that's according to Chris Wray. That's not good. That's not good at all. Well, time to sit back, everybody. Watch the world burn as freaking, I guess Iran is trying to do something? I don't freaking know. Well, sit back. Just watch the chaos unfold. False flag, I don't know, but I'm just saying that apparently that's what Christopher Wray is saying. Fun. Alright. Send in the Floridians. Breaking USA troops are being trained and being told to get ready for deployment next week. I did see something about that. We did have some deployed over there. Oh boy. Hey Rap, do you think that Trump's plans to create new cities is misguided? I believe that Trump should put use that opportunity to gain a lot of voters in the Rust Belt. I think it's a great plan. Rebuild our cities, but also create new ones. Because we definitely need new cities. So, yeah. Gateway politics are 5. Oh boy, here we go, boys. We go to Iran. Again, that's what Christopher Wray is saying. So, yeah. Again, that could be fake news, but apparently Wray did say that at a hearing. This is the closest we've been to World War III in, like, ever. I'm starting to really get worried about this. Yeah, I'm not one of those people that, again, but everybody be cautious the next, like, year and a half. At this point in time, this is why we need Trump to win badly. Because this is the closest we're at World War III since the Cuban Missile Crisis. And people say, oh, Trump almost got us involved. Name a time where Trump almost got us involved in World War III. Oh, North Korea. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. What happened? Peace. He ended these nonsensical wars. And yes, he did do stuff that was seen as controversial and a threat to World War III. But it's like, nothing ever happened. Iran made a couple threats, but what did they do? I mean, Trump's the only one I trust right now when it comes to foreign policy. The rest of these assholes would get us involved somehow. I'm talking about the realistic options. What is the conflict between Israel and Palestine about? Not just the current terrorist attacks. They're about, like, the land. They've been fighting for that land for, like, 5,000 years. I don't think we will go to Iran, but this is a major escalation of geopolitical tensions. Yeah, if that's true that they're trying to assassinate our public officials, not good. The world was so much safer under Trump. And Democrats are coping. World War III almost started. No, it didn't. At no point was Russia prepared to invade Ukraine, or was China prepared to attack Taiwan in a serious manner. Sears will probably only beat Spangenberger because Denver Riggleman will run as independent. Is he really? People mention when he ordered the strike to kill at Soleimani. Yeah, but he warned Iran if he left the territory, he was getting bombed. And nothing happened. They didn't respond at all. They were just like, we're going to fight back, and they didn't do anything. Trump called their bluff out. All right. People got old bent out of shape every time he tweeted something. And now look what we got in the White House. Let's see. Iranian cyber attacks. Ooh, what's going on here? So apparently that Iran is preparing is. It appears Iran is starting to have cyber attacks. Oh, yeah, the usual Saturday, I guess, or Wednesday. All right, folks, if anybody got any more super chats, any more questions, concerns, whatever, send them now. But yeah, this for real though, this is just scary stuff. The fact that we're even talking about World War III, and it's not just like a joking manner where it's like Kim Jong-un's gonna bomb South Korea with like space lasers. It's like, no. This is the closest we've come to World War III in years. DeSantis' campaign saying Trump is in a basement reading from a teleprompter is just hilarious. Yeah, that's bullshit. Let's see here. Rap, will there be a draft lottery if war happens next year? There probably will be. Because these assholes, they want it. They want the draft to come back for no reason. Rap, if it comes to a hot war versus Russia and China, what's your plan? Prepare for the worst. Sad but true. And I'm hoping not. I'm praying God that this is just nothing, but we're at a point where this is just terrible what's happening. Again, I hope, I'm not one of those people I'm not one of those boomer cons that hope Biden fails. I hope Biden avoids this crap. This shit show that's about to start. I hope he gets us out of it. But I don't think we're going to get out of it. Because I think Biden has screwed us so many times over that it's like, no matter what he does next, I think we are in deep trouble. I'm hoping I'm wrong. With the worst speed nuclear combat. Well, yeah. That's like worst case scenario of all worst case scenarios. I'm hoping I'm wrong about this. I'm not one of those people that hope I'm right. I'm just saying that this isn't good. Not good at all. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not a military expert, but I'm just using common sense. What's the next step from here? You can only escalate so much before something happens. But what else does there escalate? The only thing is maybe war in Taiwan, but that may set off something. So. Rap livestream to us says the nukes fall. No. Let's not even think about that. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this stream, smash the like button down below. Subscribe. Share with your friends. Hit that little bell. Follow the social media accounts in the description down below. And, of course, join the channel today. Thank you all so much. Godspeed. And again, when I talk about World War III, I'm still thinking it's like a 0.1% chance it happens. I still doubt it's going to happen, but it's like, it's still something, we're at a point where it's much more likely than just a year ago. Let alone like 2 months ago. But yeah.